If you want instant impact in your garden, knowing which trees grow the fastest is key. Today I'm showing you the top trees for rapid canopy cover. Remember, canopy is not just for shade, but also for that feeling of immersion. In my opinion, the best kind of garden. A quick note, I have disregarded fast-growing trees that are more columnic because I want the focus to be on trees with canopy. And I've prioritised more moderate-sized trees because most people don't have absolutely massive gardens. Because even though you might think that you can prune a big tree to size, you can to some extent, but with the really big trees you have to be careful about the roots and not having them too close to the house to cause any problems. Essentially the roots are going to follow the resources like access to water and soil, and they won't necessarily be restricted to the crown outline. I'll just whiz through the list, and following that I'll give you a few tips on raising the crown, which can make an enormous difference to the quality of the space and how we're using the canopy. So quite famously fast growing is a eucalyptus. I love a eucalyptus, several different types. Some of them are hardier than others. We tend to be able to get away with quite a lot in Britain. Eucalyptus are really growing fast, so they're growing from maybe 1.5 metres to 3 metres a year. But remember, for a eucalyptus you will need a sunny site. Then we've got the silver birch, Betula, pendula. That's got a growth rate of up to 80 centimetres per year. That's a pioneer plant, which means it's one of the first to colonise a newly created space in the forest, and pioneer trees will typically shoot up because they want to get to the light fastest. This silver birch here is only 6 years old, and you can see it's already got quite a decent amount of height on it. And we've got the Metasequoia glyptostroboides, otherwise known as the dome redwood. Another beautiful tree. I feel like this has like a really classic tree shape and a classic tree structure. And this one is growing up to about 1 metre a year. We've also got the Indian bean tree, that's the Catalpa, bignonioides. That's a little bit slower growing, but it can grow up to 90 centimetres per year if it's in a good sunny sheltered spot. I love this tree actually for the leaf shape. I like the really big leaves on it. And then the last one we've got is coming in quite a bit bigger. That's the weeping willow in the Salix family. These can get really big actually, but you can keep them to size. Very well known tree, very water tolerant, also famous for being fast growers. These ones will grow up between 1 and 2 metres per year. And not only is this given canopy, like the canopy is absolutely beautiful, that drooping, weeping habit. A note to mention would just be to avoid, you may have heard of the tree of heaven, heaven being a bit of a clue that it's very fast growing, very tall tree. Ailanthus altissima. Now, I love the structure of the leaves. I think it's very beautiful. I've seen it kept pollarded at Bluebell Arboretum. It looks absolutely gorgeous. But as a garden tree, I would probably steer clear because it's got very aggressive root suckering. It's quite problematic, and in the end, it's probably going to be a liability. Worth mentioning also is to avoid any cultivars with nana in its name, because nana is Latin for dwarf. So if you are looking for the fast growing impact, you're not going to get it with something that's nana. So yeah, that should get you going. I'm really into canopy trees at the moment. I've recently moved house and I'm lucky enough to have a mature sycamore, a mature maple and a really tall plum tree, all giving a really nice leaf cover. Currently not in leaf because of the time of year, and I am really looking forward to when they put the leaf back on. But in the meantime, I'm enjoying the extra light. So to finish off then, just that tip about raising the crown. As soon as it's feasible to do so, start to prune off the lower branches, and then you can keep the shape of a tree, more an elegant tree shape, and it tends to look a lot better than that sort of shrub, round bushy shape. And in doing so, first of all, you'll create some headroom for sort of walking about underneath, but you're also letting the light into any planting that's below. And in fact, it makes space for underplanting, so you can get more than one layer of planting. Again, it's going to help the integrity of your garden. But once you start layering things up, so once you pick your tree or trees, if you're going for the forest bathing effect, you're going to need more than one tree, because the whole idea will be that the canopies kind of interlock at the top. I love this effect. But since moving into this garden, I've had several of the neighbours come up and say, why don't you just cut down these trees and let the light in? But actually it's the last thing I want to do, because A, I don't want to cut down any trees, I love the trees, but B, it's absolutely special to have the light filtering through, and to me this is a much nicer garden than just having an exposed garden. I'd much rather have an enclosed garden, and to do that you need a canopy on the top and ideally planting on both sides as well. So anyway, watch this space because I will be bringing that garden to you, but at the minute it's in production, it's not quite ready yet. In the meantime, go forth, build your own gardens, plant your pitch up, and keep on keeping on, plant fans.